was an incoming 7th grader scared to death about junior high school, and he was this new, as you can imagine, self-confident teacher.
And I was just in awe of him as a person. I was actually a little scared.
He made quite an impression. He was dashing. He drove a new Thunderbird convertible.
There's an aura, there's a light about this man, something special.
He's like the CEO, chief executive of Los Angeles Unified School District, or as some people in my school say, the big cheese.
Ray's voice comes over and the room is immediately silent, and the board members are sitting, listening to him.
And then he comes in, and I went, oh my God, that's Ray Cortines.
I must have had a twinkle in my eyes, and I must have had a grin a mile wide.
Like when a light bulb goes off, or when you get an idea, it's just when he walks in, it's the same feeling.
At that moment, I knew that I was, in the midst of greatness.
I think our first meeting was with our sleeves rolled up, and our job was to save this district.
He's a man who doesn't let a problem sit. He takes ownership of every problem that comes his way. He takes ownership of problems that don't come his way.
He came in and he just approached one problem after another, and he just managed to take care of them all.
We were looking at a budget deficit of $896 million, and he said, I know what to do.
And he knew during that whole recession that, that there was no one in the world that could bring this district through that than he and the board.
His tenacity, his determination to get things fixed and to really execute.
It's one of the reasons why he'd originally been called in the district was to come up with some kind of a high school structure that would facilitate the integration of students. And so we desegregated in September '70. What Ramon was doing basically was holding it together. Very, very few people could have done that. Very few people. And he was among them.
Ray is in it. He wasn't calling it in from home. He wasn't handing off the proxy to the next in line.
He didn't send a secretary, he didn't send a visitor, but he sent himself to our school.
He has gotten on his knee countless times. Honestly, it's almost like second nature. He wants to see them eye to eye, and he does that anytime he comes in contact with any student.
So the kids all, plopped down on the carpet, and they were in their threesomes, their triads. And the next thing I know, the superintendent, he was on the carpet with them. So he got down on the carpet, not kneeling, but literally sitting on the carpet in a little circle with the kids.
He's easy to talk to. The students find him easy to talk to. And he's like me, he's old enough to be their grandparent, and they still relate to him.
A memorable moment was when he first invited me to his home. I received an invitation. There was a start time, there was an end time, and there was not a lot of time in between. And I thought, what the heck is this? Who does this?
6 o'clock, 6:15 in the morning, I'd get a call. I'd usually be at my office then, and he'd say, Vladovic, I need you to take care of this. And then I'd say, good morning. And by the time I finished good morning, he had already hung up and explained what he wanted me to take care of, and that was it.
When I first met Ray, it was with Gordon, in fact, and it was about beginning the reorganization of the district.
And during that first meeting, I learned two things. One, listen, listen, listen. Two, the only answers I gave him was yes and no.
I said, Ray, is he for real? Does he really want all this stuff in such a short period of time? Gordon says, I guess we have to do it, and we have to do it quickly.
Upon reading maybe the first two paragraphs, he looked at us, took the paper, tore it straight up, put it in the trash, says, you guys need to do better. My answer was yes.
I don't think he's intimidating. I think he's courageous. I think the way in which he presents the information, a non-nonsense direct approach, may be misinterpreted as such, but once you get to know him, you know it comes from a place of courage.
see him as funny. And this is the side that people don't really know about him.
Oh, that wit and that sense of humor is always prevalent, and he just loves to give you a jab. He just loves to find something, okay, to needle you about.
I've had opportunity to learn to speak Ray over 3 administrations. I know now that when you say, "You look like Little Red Riding Hood," that means I like the red dress. And when he says, "I wish I could gallivant in the hallways," that means it's really nice to see you collaborating.
I have a propensity to take my shoes off, and he'd hide them. Okay. I mean, I now have to go to a meeting and I don't have my shoes. So I think it's that sense of humor that he has. He's very witty and very passionate about, you know, his feelings and beliefs.
He understands the essence of leadership as not being the person out in front. It's really being a servant leader or someone that creates the condition for others to rise to the challenge.
He is humble and he is so willing to be in the background.
When we would go to his school, everybody was acknowledged. Everybody was asked about their job. Everybody was thanked for their contribution.
Whether it's the custodian or the bus driver or the front office worker or the teacher, and he's very thoughtful about that. Every single employee counts.
He said, you know, let me share with you a technique that I've used. When you're sitting there in the horseshoe and you're looking out, imagine that you're in a theater and you're watching yourself, and then you'll be able to hear what they're saying. And then you realize that it's not about you, the person. It's about you in your role as superintendent.
One of the lessons I learned from Ray Cortines was also remodel your office last. And it doesn't matter how fancy your office is, you'll be an effective leader if you give others the recognition that they're more important than you are.
It's not about the accolades for him. He's not doing this work to get kudos. He's really doing this work because he truly loves kids.
The first house he goes to, he bangs on the gate, and this huge pit bull comes raging towards him. He yelled out for the kid. As the young man held Knuckles, Ray Cortines had the first known Student Recovery Day conversation. Knuckles the pit bull did not come back to Fremont, but the student did.
Think of the 60 years that he's been in education as the Cortines era.
When you think about all the lives that Ray Cortines has changed for the better, it's got to be in the millions of people's lives.
He's really made me a better CFO. He's made me a better school district employee, and he's made me a better person.
He wants us all to be educated at any given level. You know, coming back to work with us this time around, he says, Manny, go finish your school. And I'm back in school because of him.
I'm indebted to him. The kids are indebted to him, the parents, the teachers, everybody. We're all indebted to him for what he did this last stint with LAUSD.
He says he's the tin man because he doesn't have a heart. And that is so far from it. He is here for the 3rd time because of his heart.
So when he talks about investing in LAUSD, that's because he's invested his life in the work here.
I hope that his legacy is that we all open our hearts enough to love this place as much as he does.
I think I read a quote, I think it's from Mark Twain, and it said the 2 most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you understand why. And I think that you figured it out why a long time ago, when it was about these children and the families and making the world a better place through the educational process.
Ray, I love you, and I'm going to miss you terribly, and you are amazing. And you came in and you saved this district, and we will be forever indebted to you.
Ray, it's been one heck of a dance. And I'm going to keep my dance card open for you. I'm always going to have you right here. Mi corazón. Mi corazón.
I know where to find you because I know where your heart is. And you've taught me to find where my own heart is.
I look forward to celebrating your life, your accomplishments, but nothing else than sharing a good laugh with you and a good meal and a good glass of wine.
Working with you was the most professionally and personally rewarding time of my career. You are a hero to me, to the staff, and most importantly, to the children.
You have been willing to fight for your beliefs, for a quality education for all children. And I thank you for that. You've done it in the classroom as a teacher, as a principal, head of any number of school districts, major school districts, and also with me on the national level.
I hated that we had to pull you out of retirement this last time to go back into LA, but the need was very real. Hopefully this time, finally, you can honestly retire. It's incumbent upon all of us to keep the work going. But thanks for the example of leadership, service, and commitment that you've set for so many of us. I wish you all the best.
Wish you a really happy, healthy, fun, serious retirement.
Good luck with whatever you may wish to do, and always good health.
Ray Cortines retiring? Our nation's greatest living superintendent retiring? You know what that makes me want to do? Well, that makes me want to do sit-ups, because Ray Cortines retiring means that Ray Cortines is going to be doing more sit-ups than I am, but not if I practice hard. Don't retire!